10 seconds remaining.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to this broadcast here. I'm Breaky CPK, going to be your casting host, and boy, oh boy, am I excited. Hopefully you can tell. Hopefully you guys are excited as well, as we have such a good matchup here coming at us for so many reasons. This is the BTS 6, I believe, qualifiers for the North American region. We have Team NP, a team that's been showing some promise lately. Of course, Eternal Envy and everything that's been going on around him and his situation here recently has definitely brought a lot of attention to this team especially. They came up just short recently qualifying for a Montreal LAN event, losing 3 games to 2 in the end, but this is definitely a promising team, and looking forward to seeing how they do here against compLexity Gaming. compLexity Gaming, of course, this is the new roster. This is it for them. Looking really excited to see how this plays out, especially, and again, I know so many people out there are as well. We're looking at, of course, Melons and Zfrig. These are former Han players, of course, so have a space in my heart here, and I've followed these guys for a long time, so always a fan of this team and the team that they happen to be on. But the new roster of JK, Moo, and Cancel, of course, joining the party. How is it all going to come together? Well, this is the first official tournament match, if I'm not mistaken, that this new roster is actually participating as a full team together. So, really excited for this best of 3 series. Winner of this advances on to the next round, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, winner of this advances on to the finals. What I think is just a single elimination tournament here for the BTS 6, but I'll have to get confirmation on all that. But again, the point is, this is really exciting to finally be at this point. So, here we are. The draft, of course, is underway, and we can see picks, a couple of picks on either side, in fact. So I was actually just checking real quickly to see if I could find that information here. But, okay, the Summit 6, here we go. So it is a double elimination. Okay, so if you lose here, you are still alive. So it is a double elimination tournament, but still. Obviously, you want to win to keep the momentum up. Anyways, the picking and banning stage continuing on, so let's take a closer look, see what's going on. The initial bans, we have Elder Titan, Venomancer coming out for the Dire side. Very interesting there. Drow and OD taken out by compLexity. So a little more traditional for compLexity. However, the Elder Titan, Elder Titan's not that that's not traditional. That's actually a pretty popular ban in a lot of ways. But then the Venomancer coming out. So compLexity Gaming perhaps has a little bit of a Venomancer strategy within him. That might just be my insight to my lack thereof, unfortunately, kind of kicking in. But seeing a Venomancer ban, not a typical hero you'd see banned, but taken out here, but I'm sure for very good reason. We had, I want to say it was the Wisp first pick coming out for the Dire, and then Batrider Kunkka in response from compLexity, and then you have the Nyx Assassin, actually, coming out for Team NP with their second pick. So another, not necessarily usually seen in that second pick, especially in the Nyx Assassin, but going to be here. Perhaps that offlane Nyx is what would guess off the bat right here, but perhaps there's a potential for more of that 4 roll as well. We'll see where that ends up for them. But the Batrider Kunkka, and now even the Oracle on top of that coming out for compLexity. Gotta say, this is looking like a really strong lineup so far from compLexity. In what is, again, their first game with this new roster right here. So Melon's obviously known as a very solid drafter himself. I assume Eternal Envy is that for the team of Team NP over there. But definitely going a little bit different already. Who are they going to pair up with that IO? I mean, Nyx Assassin could definitely kind of fit that role, I guess, as well. But perhaps another option would be powerful here. Is Tiny going to be an option? I kind of wonder. Obviously, the Wisp-Tiny combination has always been a popular thing for the longest time. If we're ever going to see Tiny, it is with that Wisp. So we'll see if that's going to be coming out here. You got the Oracle pick, though, for compLexity. Huskar's not banned, and it's very possible we could be seeing that Huskar pick, actually, in that 4th spot. I definitely wouldn't put it out of the question here. So I almost wonder if Team NP, I mean, they wouldn't pick it themselves now, right? There's no way they would do that. So, yeah, they went and banned Lone Druid as well as Naga Siren with their 3 and 4 bans. So, again, definitely a little bit more of team and player-specific bans coming out right here. More specifically with that Lone Druid, you could argue, for the Dire side. So the bands actually from compLexity, Bristleback as well as Storm Spirit. Again, Bristleback kind of one that does stand out a bit, but again, the case of Team NP, perhaps that history of running it here recently. So We do see the Skywrath Mage coming out for Team NP here. I assume that's going to be a mid Skywrath Mage. Would be my guess, but I know that he has potential to also be in that 4 role, and that would mean Nixon in that 3 role. So it's one of these lineups that there's no certainty yet, right? There's nothing that complexity is like absolutely certain. Okay, this is exactly what they're doing. So it's hard to set up around that fully at this time. But with their 4th pick, again, Husker is that option that I'm sure that they're highlighting over and intrigued by. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to call the Husker pick, but having that Oracle combination to work with it feels like the potential, of course, is very, very strong here. So Melon's going to think it out. You look at the reserve time, by the way, of NP. Wow, they're actually out of reserve time. Just noticing that. They did take a while there. With that 3rd pick especially. So seems like using a bit, if not all of it. I mean, that's not good. You got 2 more picks still to come, and even a ban on top of that, where you're not going to have any reserve time. So Eternal Envy going to have to go pretty quickly here when it comes to finishing the drafting stage. So the 4th pick will be a Phantom Assassin. Give me a second here. Might actually have a co-caster here, so give me 1 second, guys. Anyways, 4th pick Phantom Assassin coming out instead for compLexity Gaming. So got
5 seconds remaining.
Mid PA most likely would be the safe guess there. Sven on the side of Team NP. So this is one of these just very aggressive, active lineup potential here on the Dire side coming out, and so it's going to be a fun finish coming out for them for sure. But it's one of these more earlier to mid-game we want to win kind of lineups here. Okay, might have a co-caster. Give him a call, actually.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, Phantom Assassin, the crits that come out from the hero can be pretty absurd, especially against squishier style heroes, perhaps like that Wisp and the Skywrath Mage. So definitely an idea of what they're thinking, I'm sure, with that PA pick.
Hello.
Ralph.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
It's going. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, yeah.
Okay, good.
Sounds good here. Let me turn you down a little bit, but it should be good. Anyways, yeah, glad to have you on, helping here. The cast. So we get to see compLexity, man. I'm sure you're excited for that.
Well, it's a new. I wanted to actually watch this match anyway because NP they haven't played that many games since they've come together, and this is, I think, compLexity's like debut game with their new roster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's it's pretty cool to see how they gel together with this new roster.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of pointing out at the beginning. It's like everyone's really tuning in for not necessarily my stream, but this match in general with compLexity, especially in the new roster. But yeah, as you mentioned, Team NP, they've been kind of intriguing in themselves. Of course, Eternal Envy, the drama he had here recently, really bringing attention to the team. But
we needed a good dose of drama. You know, it's always healthy to keep that dosage up. But I think what's also cool to see is like compLexity is moving around a lot of their roles. Like Swindlemelons went from mid to offlane. Now he's playing support.
Yeah,
which that's honestly the thing I'm most curious to watch for, and to see his rotations and see if he's he's their leader. So let's see if his shot calling is a little bit more natural coming out of the support position as it seems to be for other teams. So
yeah, that is true. That's definitely. You're kind of swapping around roles right there. That could be interesting to deal with. So, okay, so we see the lineups finishing. Templar Assassin, actually the final pick to go with the Phantom Assassin. You see the Oracle pick. I was definitely thinking that, like a lot of people, I'm sure the Husker perhaps coming out here, but they stay away from that instead. So you like how compLexity finished with the PA into the TA?
They could have gone Husker. It wouldn't really, I don't think, worked well with PA on their team because it's kind of a weird synergy. You have like this super hard carry. Well, actually, I guess people are playing PA more as like a run-at-you kind of hero now. There's still basically 2 ways to play PA, and I think honestly both work. One is you rush the Deso, you get like a Vanguard, and you just go fight. Yeah. That seems to be the much more popular one. I still see though, especially coming out of the safe lane, PA's being built sometimes as your traditional. I always think and forget, and I'm not saying this just because you're here, but the Dark Lady. Like I always thought of
Okay.
the Dark Lady just like the PA build, where you rush your Battle Fury and you get your S and Y or whatever. I like to get Manta, and then you just farm, almost like an anti-mage. We'll see what he does. He is the one position. He is playing the safe lane, I'm assuming. So
Yeah. Yeah, I believe JK, that is their carry player now. Cancel, of course, in that mid role on the Templar Assassin, as we mentioned. So, yeah, I mean, we've even seen PAs, though, in a role of supports. I mean, I know I've seen a couple of games of a support role.
Yep.
That dagger. So that's quite interesting to watch. But, yeah, it is going to be the core here.
It's glorious playing mid if you have a support PA on your team, because they just make it so easy for you. Just shooting out those daggers with the Orb of Venom and the Blightstone. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's really fun playing with the support PA on your team, if they know what they're doing.
That helps. Oh, the fake fallback here. Melons thought he was fine.
Oh.
And this is going to be our first one. That was pretty smart by NP right there. Oh, he's like, no, I didn't actually go back. He's just hiding in the trees. Caught him scouting out.
With the vision down too, it gave them an easier time to commit to when they wanted to, rather than just guessing. Because otherwise they would have to just guess.
Yeah.
And I don't think Swindle knew they had a ward down, so... Big start, and I heard Peter say this actually when you guys were all casting, and I thought this was such a cool point that he made, that when you're a new team and you debut and you get first blood or you don't get first blood, that has a huge psychological effect on you, I would think. I never thought about that until he said that. I was like, wow, yeah. If you really think about that, I think they're landing together. This is their debut, so every little bit of snowballing momentum is just going to be huge in terms of their psyche and like their team morale. So that kind of is a small setback here and started things out.
And I think more so for the newer players, too. Players like Cancel, like JK, joining this roster here. Seafric and Swindle, they've been through so much together. And
at least they weren't the ones doing the feeding, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he didn't lose mid yet or something. So.
No, he's still good to go now. So, yeah, I mean, is there a favorite? Like, this is just up in the air, right? Like, we just don't know what's going to happen.
In terms of who to win the series?
Who to win the series, yeah.
I would say... just a slight favorite to NP because we've seen them play, and there's just a big question mark on complexity.
Yeah.
So I would say slight favorite to NP, but they haven't looked too hot themselves. I know they're 1-1 in Dream League right now against I think VP. Can't remember. Oh, top lane.
Uh-oh. Dive is real. Knocked in trouble. Nyx Assassin hugging that tower, but this is so difficult against the Bat Rider and the Kunkka. The sticky napalm is applied. He goes for the stun. That is, I actually played Nyx the other day in Overthrow, just kind of randomly playing him.
Right.
That stun's not very easy to hit, I feel like.
Yeah, well, they took away the targetable aspect. In bottom lane, Melons is getting pursued here with a stun from Sven. He activates the Warcry, gives himself and the Wisp a little bit more armor.
Oh, he's
trying to maneuver around and find him. A couple more on attacks will get the kill. TP rotation incoming from Kunkka. This might be able to be an easy turn here in favor of complexity.
Oh!
Nice Wisp tether all the way back.
Huh?
Yeah, Torn actually hits. Nicely done by Z-Freak, but I don't think they're going to get him.
Nah, should be fine. In fact, Mel's now in trouble. The turn kill's real. JK just goes up, but...
That did not need to happen at all.
No.
And now JK taking some damage. He'll be fine, though, but he will be annoyed, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did not need to happen.
Well, that was, Swindle Melons off to the rough start in that support role, new role of his. The 2 deaths early.
What were you just saying right before that?
About Nyx Assassin, the stun.
Oh, right. Yeah, they changed it a while back so that it's not targetable. I'm one of the weird ones that I actually like it.
Okay.
Because, like, if you're ever playing Lion... Oh, stun bottom. They might go on to him. He's really tanky, though. But if you ever played Lion and you're, like, trying to direct your stun in the middle of a creep wave... Oh, chicken dies! He just walked right to Envy. Cancel, he loses his chicken, and Envy takes advantage of it. Wow, that was kind of a blunder. And let's check the CS scores here. CS scores. Creep scores. It's 14-3 compared to 13-4, so relatively even, but that was a misstep.
Maybe that pressure you're talking about kind of kicking in a little bit.
Yeah.
Cancel there. Yeah, that's a mistake for sure. I mean, Eternal Enemy's career was also kind of there, but obviously he gets a sent back. And it's good to go.
Well, he had illusions out and he had leap available, and the courier went like almost up the hill on the side of NP. So it was really it was close to 3 minutes, and maybe he was thinking to be upgraded right away, but it was like 15 seconds still. So
yeah. How much of a like setback is that? I mean, that's going to hurt him quite a bit, though, isn't it?
He got his items, so
True.
it's more of that NP all gets the gold, which is going to help him out slowly in the next 2 minutes.
JK bottom lane, stun coming out. Wisp with those spirits isn't enough for the kill. Skywrath, he has burst damage himself. I think that's going to be, no, it's not enough actually in the end. Immobilized meanwhile onto Wisp back here from Oracle. And they will save the Phantom Assassin. But man, this pressure is clearly in favor of NP at this bottom lane.
Always just spamming out stuns. I thought maybe he had level 2 stun, but he's just gone for 1-1-1 right now. Ooh, Rune picked up. It's actually bottled up by the Wisp. That's very nice. Can maybe look to do something in some kind of other lane. The Nyx Assassin's thought of as a good counter to Bat, but not in the laning stage. That can be easily confused. It's very, very good outside of laning stage, but laning stage, Bat definitely has a small advantage.
Is it because of the carapace or just a stun potential on him? Or?
It's just, the carapace is why he's good against him, but you're never going to get that leveled up past level like 2 in the laning phase. So you can't really when you have like 4 or 5 stacks of napalm and he's right on top of you in your carapace, he's just going to catch up to you. It's not going to prevent him from, running you down. So that's the reason why.
2-1 here. You see the control again continues for NP. As far as farm down here for PA, I mean, it's not pretty. 12-2 compared to Sven, who's 26-3. So, I mean, compLexity already finding themselves in a little bit of a hole here. I mean, TA, at least middle, is doing all right, as mentioned, but losing that courier, definitely that setback as well. So, is compLexity doing something maybe as top lane? Yeah, Batrider went down, didn't he? Okay.
Yeah, the haste rune activated and probably assisted in that. The worst thing about this is that because they're forced to defend their safe lane because there was an aggro tri-lane, they haven't had time to stack these Ancients for TA. And TA hasn't done it himself either. Maybe he just feels that he needs to stay in lane more and maybe pressure with side blades, but he's actually losing out in the CS, which is a little bit surprising. I would think that TA wins this lane. There's not ways to get rid of Refraction easily at all if you're Mirana. All of his damage is done in chunks. It's not like a torrent or anything like that. Yeah. So Envy's doing very, very well for himself in mid, and yeah, like I said, no stacks on his Ancients. They haven't even been blocked.
Nyx bottom lane, Vendetta. This PA's in trouble. Yeah,
he misses him on the first attack.
Don't do it. Don't do it. There we go. Out comes the stun. That's not going to miss as a result. There's a follow-up. JK, can he get the support from Oracle? He does initially. Gets perched down, and he's going to be good for the timing, but the arrow connects. And down goes PA. What an arrow from Mirana right there. And they're just going to dive on Melons. Nothing more he can do. Uh-oh. This start for NP, man. They are just making a statement here. 5-1 lead already, and this is going to be a tower kill on top of that.
I think it's also a smart move for them to just go aggro against compLexity's first game. Like, a lot of teams, like, I've been seeing more and more teams start to go aggro tri-lanes now, and it just kind of messes with your head a little bit. Like, whoa, we're not used to this, and if you're not used to this, it gets you out of your comfort zone. And when you're out of your comfort zone, you don't play your best.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening right here. I think it's a really smart move by NP to do this. Again, the top lane wasn't the best for Nyx, but he's done all right. He got a kill from help with Wisp, and he went bottom and transitioned there. So, and then Envy did way better than I thought he would in mid.
Yeah, he's most last hits in the knives right now for the team. And
the courier snipe certainly helped him because he got a good gold boost from that.
Yeah. Up in the situation. Skywrath gonna absorb some experience here in the middle lane. Meanwhile, TA is still sitting here. Is TA a hero that you would expect to maybe start moving sooner than later, especially with his team falling behind, or is he fine sitting in the mid for the time? Actually, top lane, we do got action though. Z-Freak torrent away. We'll push them off of it for the time being, but the spirits are just long enough to drop him in the end. So down goes Kunkka as middle lane. Okay, never mind. Just pressuring, but
do not have a glyph, so I think this tower's going to go down unless SVG can get a really nice timing on the... Nope, he didn't go for it.
Not even going to try. But yeah, TA. So, I mean, the tower's dead now, so now he has to move, right?
Yeah, I typically don't see them move until he gets, like, a core item, whether it's Treads Blink or rushes the Deso. I would think he goes Blink because his farm's not that great, and he doesn't have stacks. Finally, they get one stack on the Ancients, but that's very, very late. But, yeah, he might find an opportunity here. There's no tether target right now.
No.
And yeah, that's a very, very quick gimme kill there for compLexity.
Yeah, no vision for NP right there, so a very risky move by Wisp in the first place, but he figured, hey, let's just go take that risk, and beats as a result, so. Not the greatest move by him, but yeah, Arcane Boot's already coming out now, and Skywrath I saw, Nyx already having his, so a lot of this early teamfight presence definitely kicking in for Team NP. Helmet Dominator on Sven as well.
I'm curious to see what kind of build Nyx goes for. There's a couple different ones. Usually get the same items, but not necessarily in the same order. So you'll see things like Midas, Blink. In the meantime, Sven's taking a nice stack in his Ancients, but Midas, Blink, Axe. He's actually Vendetted right now. I don't think they get this kill onto him without help. And help is on its way in the form of Skywrath. Relocate, he just hit 6 on the Wisp. And there's the help. Sven's like, I'll take those Ancients. Oh, by the way, I'll take that kill on Batrider too. Oh, and maybe a tower to boot.
Yeah.
Nice exchange there in favor of Owie.
They're on point. I mean, that was just pure. Like,
He just hit 6 too,
yeah.
on the Wisp.
I was with you. I'm like, wait, he's not going to kill him, is he? But yeah, the timing was just so perfect. Clearly, they worked that out. And they were just on top of that. Now, top lane, you see Z-Freak. He's going to be here, harass a little bit. X marks the spot on Sven. Port coming in from JK. He's going to take a stun, though, initially himself. Concussive shot coming in. He's already at a third of his life. Needs to be careful. Sven's like, I'm out of here. No chance. And he ports out in time. So good support, and they get out. And compLexity left trying to reach for some kills that are just coming up too short for. So, oh, the Batrider ports up here, too. So I guess they're just going to push this now.
I don't know if they can actually. Oh, you know what? The tower's really low, so they can probably push this. They've TP'd up here, people up here, and then they're actually making the best of that situation. So that's a good little bit of movement here for compLexity.
Yeah.
Getting something out of that. But yeah, I'm curious to see what Nyx goes for. I've been seeing more and more of just rushing the Ags. I think getting Blink very early on is going to be the best, though, because of the Batrider. Just be able to blink and carapace into the fire and then stun him immediately. Very, very good tool to just stopping the bat, especially when he gets a lasso off from someone.
On top of that, too, I mean, when it comes to initiation, Sven with more of this one build, does he usually get a Blink Dagger in the one, or is that more for...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he could definitely get a Blink Dagger. He'll probably go for Echo Saber first. Just one of the best hero-to-item matchups in the game, outside of maybe, like, Tiny. So probably Echo Saber. Oh, I hear a relocate somewhere.
Top lane, yeah, JK's going to get caught. That was it's the combo. This is that global presence combo. You know, I don't want to bring up Hunter, so I'm not going to. But, you know, there's just situations in that game, too, where it's like this lineup kind of surrounding that idea, where you got a hero that sets up with the Invis, in this case the Nyx, and then you have the port, as you mentioned, with the recall of the IO and the Sven in this case. And it's just like it's just so hard to stop. The vision is just on point for NP, too. So
it's hard enough, too, when Nyx himself does quite a lot of damage, you know. Like, just between his auto attack from Vendetta and his spells, so... Yeah, it's a nice combo, and they've been able to use it twice already.
So, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Ags. I understand why that's considered a pretty good item on him, but with how offensive they are, like, yeah, does it feel like he needs an Ags? Like,
yeah, it's core, man.
It's just so good.
It's just that fucking good. It is very good. But first, I don't think so. The problem with rushing Ags first is you have to, like, stay planted where you are, and things like you're moving around so often in the mid to early to mid game. Whereas in the late game, when you have it, you're most likely either pushing high ground or defending high ground, and that's when your position's just a lot more stationary, and you're not required to move as much. But in the early to mid game, you're required to move a lot. So I think it's more important to have the mobility, hence buying the Blink Dagger. But he's actually going for the Ags, so he disagrees. Trust me though, Ags, no matter what, is fantastic on this hero.
Okay.
It is kind of funny, though. If you happen to be farming super, super well on Nyx, farming faster than you're gaining levels, it actually can be a detriment because you just simply won't have the levels in the mana burn. And so you won't get the full effect out of the Ags. But we'll see how fast he continues to farm.
Oh, smoke coming out here from the Batrider looking for a target. He does have his Blink Dagger now, so this is a chance for compLexity. They're trying to get a good pick right here. Bring themselves back into the game. They got a chance over here. If they get Sven especially, that would be a prime target. He flies in with the Firefly. Okay, they get Wisp. This isn't guaranteed, though. Again, Sven is nearby. He leashes on. He has that support coming, and there's a knockback from Batrider, but now Batrider takes a stun himself. Rhodes is still one alive. Down goes Batrider. You see the ultimate coming out from Skywrath as well, doing plenty of damage to help finish the Batrider. And concussive shot on a cancel. Refraction, though, is up. Not anymore. He's running back. In the background, though, JK jumps on an Eternal Envy, but cancel will fall. And now Phantom Assassin, he's going to get locked down, too. This just completely went upside down for compLexity. I mean, you can feel that. It's like maybe if they get Sven, there's something, but getting the Wisp, that just started bad.
NP was just completely ready for that. And even going for the Wisp, even if he dies, I still think that NP can fight that because they would have used so many different spells on him, especially the lasso. And this goes back to your question of when do you start fighting with TA. I just don't think that TA is ready to fight. I think you need a core item, whether it be Blink or Deso, and she has neither at this point. And she's just not dishing out damage or being able to give someone at the very beginning of a fight. So I really think that they need to allow her some time to get a core item and then start coming to these fights. And I think that Batrider, without in this kind of game, without a Force Staff to accompany the Blink, I don't think you're getting anybody without someone else responding quickly, whether it's the Nyx or if you go on someone else in the Wisp reload. He had the right idea going on the Wisp, but his team was just ready for it.
Yeah, pretty deep in the end too, and again, in hindsight, sure, but clearly it just was not the right decision at that point, and compLexity now falls even further behind. Like I said, that was the moment of, okay, this is their chance to kind of start coming back a little bit, but now they're even further behind. I mean, what is this net worth lead? It's 7,500 at 14 minutes. That's just, that just seems one-sided here, but ain't over, that's for sure. Still ain't over. You talked about the Ags on Nyx. Obviously, Eternal Envy also getting one of his own on Mirana here as well, so that is in the works. How's Phantom Assassin doing? I mean, she really doesn't have anything on her, does she? At this point?
No, and I don't think... I don't think you can afford to go for a farming build this game. I think you need to get something that helps kill Wisp instantly. It's going to be really hard because this Nyx is very, very farmed. And Envy's caught out kind of here. Here's a relocate. He's baiting it out, perhaps.
Oh, no. We've seen this before, it feels like. Okay, it's going to be fine. For now. Okay, over here, though, they actually catch Melons, and that just nearly two-shots him, Sven. With that God Strength, he's good to go. There's a lasso on to Sven, though, but again, he's just so tanky. The Warcry on top of that with all that armor added up. He's doing so much damage. Here comes the Wisp, trying to save the day. Aoi 2000, can he stay alive? Yes, he can. The Echo Saber proc going off, kills the Bat Rider, and now cancels in trouble. Will meld right there. He is going to be fine for the time being. Oh, the timing was key, but they know he's here.
They know he's here. They don't have sentries just yet. Maybe when he gets enough, or he has his arrow coming up in 3 seconds. Balls to the face as he's sitting there just waiting. Nope. He gets the refraction, he gets the move, and he gets the TP. Not enough damage. Instances of damage. No, there are. That's just... I kind of feel for compLexity because they were so close to killing him, and Wisp did such a good job. He had his Urn Charge come up just in time. Z-Freak had a really, really clutch Torrent at the end there to try to finish off the Sven, and he would have. But the Urn Charge just came off cooldown from Wisp as he was constantly using them throughout the fight.
Yeah. And
was able to save Sven there. Just really nice Wisp play. Really nice communication from NB because Aoi could have just kept running and being like, oh my god, let's just get out of here, save me. But he manned up and they were all on the same page. So good stuff from NP. They're definitely, I think, improving from the first time that they've been playing together.
Recall's up in 2 seconds. Bottom lane, this Oracle. Okay, he pops a false promise on himself. He's dead. he's not living through that, yeah. Okay, recall not even necessary. That's a level 11 Nyx now, so that level 2 Vendetta.
It's funny that new stunned thing that comes out in the middle of the screen.
Yeah,
I keep thinking that someone's all chatting. So every time he stuns someone, I'm like, is he BMing them? Is he like talking shit or something?
Taunts are real, man. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they added that. Yeah, very recently here, didn't they? That's the whole bar and everything.
Yeah.
Do you like it? I've heard mixed opinions. It seems like this.
I hate it.
Okay,
I hate
yeah.
it. It just is so big and like abrasive to me, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I'm a newer player, obviously, coming to Dota 2 here, so I can understand for somebody that's been around for so long that, yeah, a change like that's one of those, like, what is this? Get it off my screen.
Well, it's great for really new players, and I think that's why they designed it, because you'll watch, like, when you start playing a game for the first time, you don't really know what's happening. You're like, well, am I stunned? Or it's harder for you to navigate your heroes in the middle of team fights, so I can see that, but there should be an option to be able to turn it off or something.
Is there not, really?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Invis coming out here on Z-Freak. He does have a TP, but they got a ton of damage on the side of NP with that fresh Ags on Envy, so.
Says, look at my new toy. And down goes Kunkka, so.
Relocate bottom.
Oh no, the relocate down here.
For cancel.
He's not going to live through this, is he? Refraction comes out. Was that the false promise on him? No, that's just the disarm, but it's not going to matter, yeah. Trying to negate that magic damage, but ain't going to work. 3 players dead just like that. I mean, it's 20-2. Like,
it is almost 3-22.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
I've heard so much about that so many times.
That's when chat goes crazy.
We're almost there. We've almost made it. Concede now.
It makes all of us just a little bit happy inside when we see it.
Yeah.
Although the true 3-2-2 is when the game ends at that, not just passes by. But anyway, Roshan being eliminated here quite easily from NP. What do we got? 12,000 net worth lead.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes back to the mental state. You're talking about like this first game, the pressure, yada yada. You're down 2-20 in 18 minutes. It's just complete dominance, really, for the one team. I mean, I'm not suggesting that they should concede yet, I guess, but is there a part of you that's like, maybe they should be just looking to move on to game number 2 here?
No, I think you definitely play it out. I mean, they haven't even breached high ground, let alone taken all their tier 1 towers. So you have a Bat Rider, one of the best high ground defense heroes. You got a Kunkka who, if gets levels, can be a threat, although he's really lacking in farm. But you still wait. Finally, we got a core item up onto the TA. PA's really got nothing at all. That's the worst part, I think, about this game for them. Is he's got literally a headdress, which I guess is going to be a Vlad's, but he's struggling.
Yeah, which even that is like, I mean, that's good to have, but it just doesn't feel like that, that dominating item to have earlier on. Yeah, I mean, he finishes it right there at least, so again, it's something.
I really think they need to give some space to Bat to find a force. I think they have to have this force to get heroes far enough away from the Wisp before you can get in range to relocate. But we'll see. If NP play this smart, they can just kind of split push and take Roche and then take high ground and let their Aegis carrier just sit and hit the base. And you obviously can't go on that if you're the Bat Rider. So,
what do you think about giving the Aegis to Mirana, by the way, instead of Sven?
I think it's fine. The problem with Sven, too, is you run into... I mean, you can see right now, you just run into the problem where you have all your inventory slots taken up very, very quickly. Oh, Envy, speaking of Aegis, burns it right there.
Watching that right
Literally
there.
burns it.
Ran right into them. Now he's in trouble once again. The support is not close enough. They just lasso him, and that's going to secure the kill. So, yeah, NP, you see Rose coming in, trying to maybe make a play, but just too far. Well, there goes the Aegis. But, I mean, Sven was pushing the top that whole time, and he kind of pushed all the way into the base. So there's something there.
Definitely a better trade. I mean, compLexity was totally fine with that. Finally get some gold up on the PA, and that was definitely a freebie there.
Yeah. There's a third kill. Now we need 2 more for NP.
You know, it's interesting. I was thinking, too, because like I was saying, there's basically 2 ways to play PA, and the most popular by far right now is to get the Deso. And it's weird that they drafted both PA and TA together when that's like a core item for compLexity anyway. Here we go.
That Ags, man. I love it.
Tanky. So
just
tanky.
like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Melons, he's not fine. That's 2 hits and he's dead. Right there. Okay, that's Scarith Mage. There was no point for that Mystic Flare, but used it anyways.
And Aoi has a casual Hyperstone and went back for the BKB. God, just look at us farm, man.
Yeah.
Echo Saber, Blink, Hyperstone, Tread, Telmodometer, BKB, 21 minutes. That is absolutely insane.
It's like his that Alchemist pace, it feels like, just how far ahead he is than everyone else. 14,000 net worth on him.
Yeah, except he uses his items and gold even better than Alchemist does at this kind of stage of the game. So, God, very, very farmed. It's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be 6 slotted in about 2 minutes if he wants to get that, whatever the double Hyperstone thing is. I even forget the name.
Well, not Assault Curious, but...
No, why can't I think of it? Yeah, it is... Oh, Moonshard, of course.
The Moonshard, that thing that you can consume, yeah.
Cancel's in trouble.
TA, dead A, or something. There we go. There. Hey, look at the scoreboard. We made it.
Is that your
Game's
Pig Latin version of... Do you remember Pig Latin? Did you ever speak that when you were younger?
I did not. There was people that I knew that did. Yeah, I never got into the Pig Latin thing.
It's not a thing anymore, is it?
No, I don't think. These youngins nowadays, they got their gangster rap that they listen to.
They got their dabs and their...
Oh, God. It's the worst. I feel so old saying that, but it's like... Doesn't it just hurt you inside when you see this kid dabbing over and over again?
I just don't know. Like, it's cool, it's harmless, but I don't understand the gratification of dabbing. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a conversation for another time, though. All right, so 3-22 right here.
Is it real?
Yeah.
We totally missed it this whole time.
We made it.
It's 3-22.
It's game
We're
over.
talking about dabbing while it's 3-22. Our priorities are not in gear.
All right. Well, what do they do? You mentioned the BKB just delivered to Aoi 2000, so it's like you just have to crowd control him. It's like, wait, he has a BKB. Oh boy, it's just going to be a tough case here. I mean, they're just avoiding fights. I mean, I guess that's the obvious route here for compLexity. Simply avoid. You mentioned the 4-staff get on Bat Rider. He's working towards it. He has 1,500 gold about, so that'll be pretty key. You mentioned TA, the Desolator, and now working on whatever he thinks next. And then there's the PA, which is just continues to be not that intimidating here. But here comes the smoke. So, compLexity. See if they can make some kind of play here. Ping's coming out, actually, or more so, they're using the scan right there. I don't think they spotted anyone. But, man, look at that. MP's just falling back. They're just all so defensive right here.
Yeah, they're respecting the desperation of compLexity, and they don't want to give them an inch.
They're not going to get anything. I mean, they're pinging over towards the Ancient, so they have an idea. But as we see, NP's all over here, so jumping in, you do not want to fight 5 versus 5. They've learned that lesson several times this game. Is that a Vanguard on Wisp?
Yeah, it's not bad. It just makes him more tanky, so it gives him more time to overcharge heal somebody. And if he gets a Crimson Guard, it's a great item if he can afford it. Buffs up his team, buffs himself up. I'm okay with it.
I mean, yeah, just a casual Vanguard at 24 minutes on your Wisp. I think they're just fine with that. Oh, Nyx in the front lines. Vendetta's up. He's looking for somebody. PA? No, not close enough.
They actually see them. There's 2 sentries down, so they ping him out.
Yeah, you're right. But, yeah, they're not going to dare jump him as we see that supporting cast is right there, too. So
they might if you can get in range, like with a Burrow Lucky Stun.
Oh!
It's hard to get. And that's the problem I was talking about, is you're just not very mobile. But, I mean, they're so far ahead, it doesn't really matter.
No. There's the Force Staff. All right. A little bit of something there for compLexity going to be happy about.
Yeah, if they're looking at a time to turn the tide, it's now when they don't have an Aegis and they have this Force Staff on bad. They can honestly give anyone if the Wisp is not ready with a relocate. They really can. Even the Sven, if you pull him back far enough with the Kunkka boat, you know, some auto attacks out of Meld Strike from TA, that you can actually rip them apart. But it's got to be the right place, right time, and you have to be quick with your lasso Force Staff. And I know Moo is, so.
Yeah, he's a player that had a fun off-season here, getting kicked from the runner-up team, and he's joining compLexity now, though, so good to see him on this roster. Yeah, that was one of those, like, again, that was when I was really started to get more and more involved in the Dota 2 scene. It's just like I saw that transaction happen. I was like, wait, what? Runner-up, and that happens, but team's just making changes. That roster.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting, but it was also interesting when Aoi got kicked from the winning team of TI. You know,
there's that too, yeah.
But everyone has their motives and their reasons. That they're not really obligated or obliged to tell anybody about it, so I respect it.
Middle. Yeah, constantly avoiding. Mirana, though, with the infish, she blink daggers in. They catch Oracle. False promises applied, but it's just going to be a deceptive lie. Okay, no, he survives. Never mind. Gets ported back, so he's actually good.
Yeah, a lot of the damage that came out was while he had Fate Edict on him, so he didn't really take any of it. So that's good for him. How long is that cooldown on the ult? Oh wow, it actually drops dramatically as it levels up. It's one of those ults that really. I would think it'd be like 180, 60 or something like that, but man, it really comes off. So at least he's level 11.
Yeah, having level 2, that's nice. Yeah, 35 seconds at level 3. Jeez. It's definitely going to be up every fight at that point, so.
Oh, relocate bottom. He does have the rum on him, too, so he's a little bit tankier than usual. BKB activated by Aoi, too. This could be really bad. Oh, SVG in the meantime gets a kill onto Melons.
Rose is going to be picked up, but look at Span. He just tears up Z-Freak right there. Stun on a cancel. There's a leap in from Eternal Envy. But again, the refraction is up, taking all that damage for the time being. They do pick off PA, though. As now Aoi 2000 with the BKB running out, he will start falling back. But, I mean, they still make it a 2-for-1 for NP. Oh, make it a 3-for-1, actually. I guess, yeah, buyback on a Kunkka there throughout it. So, I was thinking maybe okay for compLexity, but then even seeing that buyback, yeah, not so much. Not so much.
And that was even sloppy by NP, but they're just so far ahead that you can afford to play these fights not perfectly and still come out on top heavily.
Yeah.
And he didn't go for the moon charge, he just went straight for the whole Assault Crass, and now he's got enough for almost another item. Cancels the trouble. Man, that TA just gets dropped. Like butter to a warm knife.
Yes. That was impressive. What is that from? Butter to a warm knife?
Siori, he always said that. Do you
Does
remember?
he?
Yeah, he always said, like, butter to a warm knife.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, now that you mention that. I love the accent.
It's one of my favorite little things he said.
Yeah. Sven's just hunting. He's like, all right, there's got to be somebody around here. Pops that war cry. I mean, he's right. That Oracle is kind of nearby. Uh-oh, Mirana. Oh, Oracle. Poor Oracle. He's kind of trapped in between. He's going to hide to the side. Mirana, did he catch Seafreak? No. He actually ports out. Yeah, they're just constantly scouting out for them, hunting them. compLexity's just always on their back foot playing scared here. They've been so for a while now. And obviously they're just all about grinding back into this game some way, somehow. I mean, the PA, he has a Claymore now.
Oh, bottom. There's the Carapace. He gets this in. Oh, he uses the Force Staff too, but it's actually the worst situation because he's still stunned, so it's like it kind of hurts him almost. But you see right there, the cool thing is you can Carapace while you're in invis, so they can't even see you coming. You just get randomly stunned, and you still have the Vendetta to use for the extra damage. So fantastic hero, and it's going to lead them right to a Roshan attempt, which I don't see being contested at all with this Batrider dead.
No, this is not something that you look to protect here. So another Aegis going to be coming out, very likely for Mirana. Last time speaks to what happened as well. So Mirana, 2,000 gold saved up, by the way. Looks like that Ethereal Blade going to be next in line for her as well, so providing even more burst for the team to take advantage of. But what is TA making with that? There's a Lincoln Sphere, by the way, on Sven. Jeez. The Claymore. It's not going to be a Battle Fury at this point, so it has to be a Shadow Blade then? Okay.
For whom?
For Phantom Assassin, sorry.
Oh.
I mean, is it going to be a Battle Fury?
Yeah, it could be just going back for the Battle Fury. I can't see it being anything else.
It's that or the Shadow Blade, so it's huh.
Yeah, if he wanted the Shadow Blade, he definitely would have bought it by now. So,
all right. Well, better.
I don't think anything matters though at this point. I think NP are just biding their time and waiting until it's the most appropriate time to actually push. I'm very happy to see Aoi, even though again it doesn't matter that much, that he didn't complete the Satanic. It's one of my pet peeves of Sven's is when they actually finish into the Satanic. He's just not simply a Satanic hero. He's a hero that jumps in, bursts, and does his thing. He doesn't really sustain well because when his ult's off, he's bad. By the time you're sustaining, you're getting kited long enough to where you're useless anyway, so not a fan of the Satanic. He went back for something better, which is Lincoln's against the Bat, so
yeah.
And among other things.
Oh, they catch JK. Yeah, he's in trouble. False Promise goes up. I don't think he's getting out of this one, though. There's so much damage happening. Melons, meanwhile, he's also dropping. He will fall, and so does the Phantom Assassin. And then, meanwhile, elsewhere at the top lane, down goes the Batrider. And in the background, that God Strength up from Aoi. They are going to catch cancel. There's the hammer coming out, and GG being called. So that will do it officially. NP taking out compLexity in the first game. So, yeah, I mean, it was just all NP. Just the aggressive play. You mentioned that the idea of the draft, too, and just their laning phase, they just went aggressive from the beginning, and perhaps I've just put compLexity on tilt a little bit. Got them off guard, so.
That's what it was. I think if you're compLexity, you don't feel too bad about it. You just regroup and go to the next and just be more prepared for something like that. I think just combination of jitters from the new, their debut of their new roster. And again, aggro tri-lanes will mess with your mind, man. Like, if you're not ready for it, especially as a core player, it can really kind of tilt you. And I think it was really good lane assignment from Team NP. I think Envy did really, really well in mid. I think the courier snipe, again, actually was kind of a big deal, especially with the aggro tri-lane, because you get a lot of gold from those early courier snipes. And when you need that gold very, very highly in the very beginnings of the game, it can really help out your aggro tri-lane, give you that edge to actually take over a lane, which NP did. So
yeah. All right, so I'm kind of going through the. I love this post game stuff they added. Can like go through the players and see like their average on that hero as well.